Hello everybody and welcome back to another decent Oriana video. In today's video is going to be something a little bit different. I wanted to talk about something that's been on my mind recently as I've been climbing through the divisions, and that is elitism in League of Legends. So with all the recent hype and streaming surrounding chess on Twitch, there's been a lot of discussions, particularly with Hikaru, about chess elitism. I won't go too much into detail here, but if you'd like to know more, there's a brilliant video here that you can watch, which I will leave in the description, that describes the scenario. Essentially, just to kind of summarize it, many chess grandmasters and top players believe that only the very top players are deserving of a spotlight. Moreover, the lower ranked players in chess are seen as somehow inferior, or even more bizarrely less intelligent than those sitting in the upper echelons of the ladder. Does that remind you of any other game? Well, I genuinely believe that League of Legends has an even bigger problem with elitism than chess does. So, just to kind of start off, tell me how many times you've heard something along the lines of, oh, you're hard stuck in X division. Why are you even talking? I find myself being caught up in this too. I recently decided to start streaming, and actually I waited until I got back into Diamond 2 before I even fired up my first stream, because I was so anxious about being mocked for being a Diamond 3 streamer, which is crazy. Even when discussing this video idea with other people, I was told that I would just be called an irrelevant nobody, and that my video wouldn't be taken seriously. So I think this doesn't sound too crazy now, because the elitism is so deeply ingrained into us as League of Legends players that it's hard to distinguish from kind of the norm. But let me give you guys some context. So as of recording this video, I am currently Diamond 1. That puts me in about 0.1, 0.2% of players, depending on the LP. I've recently lost some games, so obviously that's gone down, but let's just say for the context of the video, 0.1% of players. So now let me ask you this. Would I also be called, like hardstuck D1 or hardstuck masters by mid-masters, by grandmaster or challenger players? If we were talking about any other game, any profession, any professional sport, anything like that. So in the UK, the top tier league for football is the Premier League. I'm sure a lot of you guys know this. So would you ever call a football player hard stuck Premier League? Probably not. Or if somebody was competing in the national running trials, would you call them hard stuck national competitors? It just sounds ridiculous, doesn't it? And the higher you go, the more ridiculous it becomes. So Masters players are within the top 2,000 players of their respective service. Yet I've never heard anyone saying that someone at the Olympics is a hard-stuck Olympiad. It sounds ridiculous when you say it like that, but I think we really need these comparisons in League of Legends to really see how ridiculous this elitism has become. And even what we consider lower levels of play, and please note the quotation marks here, the lower levels of play, the elitism is still not justified. Take an average gold player. They sit at 25% of top players on their server. So on EU West, where I personally play, that means they're in the top quarter of 2.1 million total players. So it's difficult for our brains to even comprehend what that actually means. But 2.1 million players is a crazy amount of players. I can show here. Actually, I was even wrong. It's 3.1 million players. So all the more ridiculous. But being top 25% of 3.1 million people is an extremely good achievement, something to be proud of. I mean, if we were talking about intelligence here, if you said that you were in the 75th percentile of intelligence in Europe, let's say for the context of US, you'd be very proud of that, and people would be very happy for you, and it's something that you would probably share, and not something that you'd be embarrassed about or be called out up on. Nobody would say to you, oh, you're hard stuck in the 75th percentile of intelligence. That just wouldn't be a thing. So I think it's ultimately the responsibility of all of us to deal with this elitism. And I want to make it clear that I'm not saying that a gold player is on the same level as a challenger player, for example. Of course not. But we've created a toxic environment where we call out these players, and I'm guilty of this myself. I think all of us are, where you might not take someone's opinion seriously because they're a lower rank, or like you talk yourself down, you talk your teammates down because of the ranks. And I think, as I said, it's ultimately all of our responsibility to deal with this. This includes, streamers, this includes players. Like Bwipo said, if you haven't watched the interview with LS and Malice, you should definitely watch that, where he says that it's ultimately our responsibility to deal with these issues. And I wholeheartedly agree with that. We all started somewhere. For me personally, as you can see here, I started, it says season 3 silver. In reality, I've been bronze 5 before. And, I've managed to climb my way up to a peak of mid-masters. So, it's possible for anybody. I want to say that. And we all started somewhere. And climbing takes patience. It takes time. And I don't think we should judge people based on their rank. We all started somewhere. So, I just wanted to kind of make this quick PSA. Start the discussion about elitism in League of Legends, and that we do actually have a problem. We're mocking chess about it, but we're so much worse, or at least we're on the same level as chess is. So thank you for listening, and please, in the comments below, whether it's on YouTube or Reddit, discuss, and I hope you guys have a brilliant day. Thank you very much for watching again.